Right now, I am in the ruins of what used to be a factory located in Rock Island, Illinois. It's been turned into a park now, but not many people really know about it. It's still kept like a normal park. The grass is cut. You can tell it was cut fairly recently. But before the big storm hit, there's still trees down all over the place. Plants actually blown over across sidewalks. But the reason I'm making a video about this is because, well, I thought it was cool. This is the central area of the park. I mean, it has an official name. I don't know it off the top of my head. I'll probably put it as a text here. But this is the central kind of area of the park. You can see the walls still left from the factory behind me. The steel doorway. The original brick. Some of which what was demolished, ground up and used as trails, to make trails, to reuse it. The walls are falling apart in some areas, like in this corner right over there. But other than that, it's in pretty nice shape, and it's a pretty nice park. In fact, behind me you can see what used to be the elevator shaft in the middle of the building, and some of the support columns. Now, the history of this park is, it was supposed to be a retain the rain kind of demonstration park, but it never really caught on. It is kind of left into its own devices. You can see part of the side of the building with the support columns still up, which is neat. It was left to its own devices and just kind of sat here as a park where weeds are actually kind of taking over now. In fact, in front of me right now, that should be a trail. It's now fully blocked by weeds, so you have to walk around. But it's still a very interesting place to check out. In fact, I only learned about this park thanks to just messing around on Google Earth. Walking kind of on the path of what used to be maybe support structure here, and pebbles. It's a very neat place, and it's very beautiful. In fact, the nature here is very nice, and you have the wonderful smells of a baking factory, Hill Valley Bakery, behind me in the old Quad Cities industrial area. I actually came here to check out this stuff mainly in the elevator shaft, but stuff behind me that I wanted to check out, the supports and beams and stuff, is blocked by weeds. There's 3 outbuildings still here. There's 3 sections that you can tell were buildings. There's an outbuilding over there that we will check out, and there's an outbuilding over there, which is now part of the parking lot, which we will check out. I'm the only one here, but there have been people that have come here very recently, because you can see basically just a lot of graffiti, fresh graffiti you've probably already seen in this video. So we're going to take a tour of this park and check it out. On what used to be the floor here in this little bit of grassy square on the east side of the building, you can actually see paint. So basically the sidewalks here are massive chunks of formed concrete. You can even see them on like the bike path and stuff that covered this whole area, and this was the floor of the factory. And you can see like what remains of like some sort of painted line, maybe like warning of machinery or something, which is very neat. This site is cool because you can see a lot of kind of architectural ruins of the factory. Like I showed you the elevator shafts to those support columns and stuff. But There's also some steel beams, which you're about to see, which supported the building. Behind me are three, just want to make sure, 3 steel columns that would support the weight of the building. You can even see where beams would run across them as kind of a cross brace. It's really cool if you think about it. Yeah, that's one of the neat, interesting pieces of the building that are still around of the structure. I have absolutely no clue what this is, but whatever it is, it looks awesome, and it is definitely shows that there was a factory here at one point. I mean, I don't know what this is. Could be part of some machinery that was in this building, and I will get more into kind of the history of the building and what it used to be in a second. But whatever this is for, it looks so cool. Look at that. This building that's on this ground, or the whole basic property, used to belong to Midwest Oil. That building was later abandoned because the need for multiple thousands of oil companies kind of grew less. The Illinois Oil Company, I think that's what it's called, over in Rock Island, at the base of the bridge crossing on from Rock Island onto the Arsenal Island, butterfly just flew right into me, was repurposed into apartments. This building was not so lucky. It was left abandoned for years, and finally in 2004, 2005, it was demolished selectively. Obviously, if there are still steel beams, building base, brick walls, and an elevator shaft still here, then yeah, it was demolished selectively. Steel concrete forms of piping and framing used to lay the ground for small sidewalks, like in the central area of the park. But basically now, the nature is taking over again. You can see weeds behind me, and you can still see remains of placards talking about retain the rain and what this place is supposed to be. It was supposed to be a really nice park, and what demolished materials used to form the landscape and stuff like that. Personally, I kind of like it the way it is right now. Something I just noticed walking to the other outbuilding here is you can see these old cinder blocks used to form kind of the base of a wall or something. Just thought that was pretty cool. Earlier, I mentioned that most of the bricks that were removed from the structure in the demolition were reused in some way. They were ground up and used as a pathing thing. You can still see it somewhere, mostly around the parking lot. But if you're lucky, you might just kick up some bricks. Here you go. You can see, like right here, you can see it's bricks, ground up bricks. In fact, just here we go. See here, it's like really flat. It's kind of like the face of a brick face. So that's pretty neat. You can find probably better chunks. And now we're about to enter the third outbuilding, as I like to call it, or the third building, former building on the site, which I can only assume was some sort of storehouse and loading bay, and I'll show you why I assume that in a moment. But first, check out this old steel door frame over the entrance of the building. It's so weird to see how this is originally a loading bay or storage building of some type. Now it looks kind of like a kind of prairie on one side and a rainforest on the other side. It's really interesting. Right here is what I can only assume was some sort of loading bay for trucks to come in. They'd back up from the street and you'd load cargo onto the trucks. It's kind of like hidden behind trees here. Let me see if we can get a little bit closer here. Have to be careful. Right now I'm kind of walking on like this like mesh thing, because the concrete is, you could have tell it's really broken apart. I have to be careful, but you can kind of get a better look. That fence was not there originally, I can tell you that. But yeah, some sort of loading bay here. So what's funny is when I started filming, there was no one here, and then literally as I start filming, people will show up. Look at that. That's gonna be a no from me. Anyway, as I started filming, people started showing up, because of course they did. People parked in what used to be the third outbuilding, or the third building. I was gonna show that, and I still am. So right now, we're walking toward the parking lot. I see my car. Second car, I saw an SUV parked inside in the parking lot, kind of inside the outbuilding. I don't think I mentioned this, but it is pretty much connected to the Great River Trail, the bike path that travels along pretty much 64 miles of the Illinois side of the Mississippi River. Like, you can access it by just walking along a path. But yeah, I do kind of forgot that this is a park. So let's go check out an outbuilding. Gotta be careful of like changes in elevation. So let's go check out an outbuilding. Here is the third outbuilding. You can see it's pretty much almost completely intact, of course missing the roof. It was probably taller, but it is used as part of the parking lot now. As you can see, I'm just gonna walk right on through the door, and you can see old large concrete slabs, a building kind of sheared off over there, just kind of selectively demolished. You can see this, you can walk right through the building. You can see kind of a corner of the building over there. But as I mentioned, you can walk right onto the bike path from here. In fact, let's walk onto the bike path. See some sort of foundation there. Now, of course, I'm not just gonna waltz on to the bike path. You can see right here, there's still massive concrete slabs from when the factories used to take, were essentially, this factory and the factory over there were basically one massive structure in downtown Rock Island, or outside of downtown Rock Island. And one of the buildings that were kind of hidden away was our park that we just checked out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back in my car and probably leave. So I'm on my way to my car, right? And I noticed this big black pile of stuff, and I have no idea what it is, but it smells bad. So yeah, let's get away from it. I did read in the article talking about what this used to be on the Quad City Times. It was a kind of like a Q&A deal, that there was a lot of contaminated soil around here that kind of had to be churned up, and they were just going to kind of use it as part of the landscaping. So that might be what it is. Who knows? So I'm going to go back to my car now, and we're going to kind of give a rundown here in an outro. Well, here we are back at the car. Was this worth it? Yeah. I thought it was a cool little thing to check out here in Rock Island. You can still just kind of see like the ruins and stuff in the background. It's pretty neat. I'm probably gonna walk around, check it out a little bit more, but thank you guys for watching, and I will see you whenever I make another video. Bye. So I don't know if I'm gonna add this into the video itself or after the outro, but I was continuing to do some walking around, taking some pictures, when I found this. It is a brick from the building, left almost completely intact, of course, worn down with nature, but this is definitely one of the coolest things I've found here. I know it's just a brick, but it's part of the building, and finding bits and pieces of the building just laying in the dirt here, not gonna lie, pretty cool. So yeah, found a brick. I'm gonna leave it here, I'm not gonna take it home, but yeah, found a brick left from the building that used to stand here, and that's pretty cool.
Skip it up and that up.